Resident Evil Village, Capcom's 8th major installment in the Resident Evil series, launched on May 7th with overwhelming praise. The story starts with Ethan and Mia Winters moving to Europe after the horrific events they encountered 3 years prior in Louisiana. With their newborn daughter Rose, they try to find some peace and quiet, but the events of the past still haunt them. Ethan awakens in the woods at night alone and begins to search for Rose. After a short walk through the woods, Ethan comes upon a village where things seem amiss.
Hey, are you listening? Hey!
Soon after arriving, Ethan finds himself in another waking horror, as he is attacked by hundreds of lichen, which he barely survives. With a lead, he starts a search for Rose by investigating the 4 lords of the village and a mysterious figure known as Mother Miranda.
Must be pretty tough. Huh.
Who the f*** are you?
Oh, you're not local. Even better. Mother Miranda's gonna love you.
Resident Evil 8's controls work very well for its first-person survival horror game setting. If the controls were put in any other game, they could be seen as slow and clunky, but the pace of RE8 makes the controls fit perfectly when navigating the world. A big part of Resident Evil 8 is its inventory management. With limited resources and limited space, you need to organize your inventory and make sure you have enough space for not just your weapons, but also your first aid, lockpicks, and ammo, making you think about what you may or may not need to bring with you. For the most part, Resident Evil 8 was a smooth experience, with a handful of issues that didn't ruin my experience. The biggest one was the game freezing my entire PC, which happened a couple of times. The only other issue I encountered was some frame rate skipping and frame rate drops. Both issues were easily fixed by disabling any overlays. After that, the freezing and nearly all frame rate issues were fixed. Resident Evil 8's gameplay starts off at a slow pace. With you not knowing what's around the next corner and with limited options for fighting and a low amount of supplies, it is sometimes best to run rather than fight. As you progress, your arsenal grows, so your options for combat become more diverse, allowing you to fight enemies with more confidence. As this happens, the number of enemies you encounter become more numerous. To help you deal with the increase of enemies is the only friendly face you'll encounter in the game.
I've been waiting for you, Mr. Winters.
How do you know my name?
Anyone who is anyone has heard of the likes of you.
The Duke is a merchant that will sell you new weapons, ammo, and healing items for treasure and money you find hidden throughout the village. The Duke also helps you upgrade your weapons and your health and other stats. Resident Evil 8 does a great job balancing the time you are fighting and the time you spend exploring, looking for supplies, treasure, and clues to help you find your daughter. Resident Evil Village is an amazing addition to the franchise. Unlike the majority of the games in the series, the first-person perspective makes the game more engaging and builds up the tension of the horror moments. Whether you've been a longtime fan or this is your first time venturing into the franchise, Resident Evil 8 is a fun, tension-filled horror game to pick up.